Here we are looking through some $1 bills on some currency searching. So $1 bills are obviously like the most common thing that most people are going to have in their pocket and receive while they're running around. And so I figured it'd be another video to do to show you what we look for while we're currency searching. So as we can see, starting off on the top one, we've already found a star note. These are all dollar bills. I have a couple more in my wallet that I got from earlier getting coffee, but who gives a crap about that? Anyway, so we're going to start off essentially, I'll talk about star notes in just a second. But as a lot of you have pointed out through, a bunch of my videos, condition is one of those things that's a big deciding factor in whether or not you're going to have a premium over the face value of a bill. So as you can see with this one, it's one of the first things I look at when currency, bill searching in specific here. Condition, of course, is going to play into the overall value, like with anything, comic books, vinyls, playing cards, whatever. So star notes, essentially when a bill is messed up in production or has a fallacy through the printing process, they replace that bill and annotate this as such by adding a star at the end of the bill. So basically, it'll just annotate the bill was replaced. This bill's obviously folded up, it's in somebody's pocket or whatever. So this one, another thing I look at is the printing of the bill, whether or not it's misaligned or off center or whatever. This one is not. There's also no major issues with inking or anything like that, but still a star note, which is cool. But it doesn't have anything collectible. So what I mean by that is essentially with serial numbers, you're looking for fancy serial numbers is what a lot of people call them, or a variety serial number. And that's going to be anything like a date bill. For instance, if this was 02/10/1995, that would be February 10th, 1995. This one is not anything collectible. It's not a broken ladder, which would be 1 through, well, not necessarily 1, but generally it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or a mixture thereof. It's not a block repeater like a bunch of zeros or a bunch of fours. You don't see a bunch of just misprinted stuff. So we'll move on from that one. I've been getting a lot of bills lately that are like super repetitive numbers, and then they, a couple things at the end are intermixed in there have changed it from not being a repetitive bill, so it's not collectible. This dollar would be a good example of that. It'd be really cool if there was multiple 6s and 7s throughout the whole serial number, but there's not. Other things we would look at are going to be the signature, Secretary of the Treasury, Treasury of the United States on the left-hand side here by my left thumb. Printing of the different seals, the Federal Reserve seal and the Department of the Treasury seal. Previous videos I've had, if you want to check those out, I had a dollar bill I found that had the seal printed way to the left, not even over the E at all. That would be kind of a variety or error bill. And I've had a couple bills that are misalignments and stuff like that, which I'll talk about in another video that a friend gave me. Check the reverse of the bill. We can see that it's, nothing spectacular as far as collectability is concerned, but also pretty beat up. So like you guys know, condition has kind of played into that bill. Also folded. Nothing really collectible. This is, not the serial numbers do match each other. They're not mismatched serial numbers. There's nothing majorly jumping out as off on this bill. These are all 2013 so far. We got a slight over ink here. You can notice it if you look really close. I'll go in closer. What's cool about the bills too is, you can notice all these little fibrous materials all throughout here. Bills go through a multi-printing process when they're made. So, if you look at, for example, up here, you can see how the ink is kind of laid down roughly over the Federal Reserve note annotation there. But nothing really collectible. Unless this was super overprinted, then it's nothing really crazy. But you can see that difference between this serial number and this serial number, one being printed kind of standardly at the top right here, one being kind of overlaid heavily. Nothing on the reverse. Let's go through this bad boy. Once again, these are all 2013 so far. I haven't jumped across anything. I haven't even got a date bill or a birthday note recently, so maybe I'm just hitting a bad streak. But these are all going to annotate the same people on the bill as far as Treasurer and Secretary of the Treasury, of course, because they're the same series of bill. Sometimes they will change slight things when they change that over as far as those representatives, but we're not going to see any major graphic changes for another few years as far as bills are concerned, and the dollar bill is not one that is going to be graphically changed. They're talking about the $5 bill, the 10, and the 20 being ones that might undergo graphic changes, even considering changing the presidential depiction of Jackson on the $20 bill, putting him into the back of the bill and replacing him with a notable woman in history. So we'll see if that happens or not, but who knows. They're also talking about doing away with the penny and all sorts of other stuff. Ooh. See, so this is what I'm talking about. I almost have a repetitive serial number here, and then this stupid 5 threw its way in here, but that, hey, this is a Series 2009, slightly different than previous series, but same Secretary of the Treasury and Treasury of the United States. But I almost had something fun here. 777s is always cool. I wish we would have repeated it on the end here with another 07 or something. That would be more collectible and a fancy serial number. So, nothing really crazy here. It's printed correctly. You don't see any major miscut like it's sitting over on the edge or anything like that. So, nothing to call home about. Let's kind of shoot through some of these. Serial numbers match. This one's in a lot better shape for a 2013. It's not all banged up and folded up like somebody threw it in their pocket or their purse or their wallet or whatever. So this would be more collectible as far as a condition basis is concerned if it had a collectible serial number. As we know, the Federal Reserve bank annotations here with the lettering. We went through that in a previous video. You can check that out. It is in this playlist. Or email me at my email in the description box and I'll answer any questions you have. So nothing really crazy here. These annotate your plates, where it was printed and stuff. $1 bill, denominations all seem correct. Reverse of the bill, in great shape really, but nothing collectible. Let's look at the next one. Little over ink on the 9 here, but once again, nothing to really, it's kind of cool that it's repeated on each one of the serial numbers, so, that's interesting. But nothing collectible, really. You can also see, I guess in a sense, collectability would be found if it was a serial number that was printed really harshly, like you could see the a raised number on the back. That is slightly common, but it would have to be really raised. I'll show you an example of that in another video when I talk about misaligned bills and other varieties or errors you can find. Nothing really jumping out at me here. As you can see, this is another 2013 series. Signatures seem correct. Nothing really, as far as layout, throwing itself off on the bill. This is a smaller plate, so it's a sooner, found in obviously a different position in the printing process. 2013 also. Another really good repetitive bill, and then we have this 02 on the end throwing it off. So hopefully we'll find a repeater. I like repeaters a lot. I also like block repeaters with like 7s in the middle and 0s on the end. I had one of those a while back. It was a $20 bill. I ended up selling it for about $40, I think it was like $42 or $43, and then the guy resold it for $55, so everybody won. I sell a lot of my stuff at coin shops and currency shops. eBay, I've never personally had a lot of luck on getting a bunch of premium over something unless it's really collectible. So, hey. Once again, nothing really here. Nothing's jumping out at me. I mean, of course, you can look at these under a scope and maybe find something a little more... Ooh, another star note. Hey, here we go. Find something a little bit more collectible if you really want to look deep into it. But the thing with currency, paper currency, is people that collect them and spend a lot on them, it's generally a really noticeable error. It's going to be completely miscut, or it's misprinted entirely. Otherwise, you're not going to get a massive increase to face value. This one here, once again, a star note that annotates it's replaced at some point in the production process. Quality assurance basically found that something was up with the bill. It probably had some sort of misprinting or a fold over or something like that, so they replaced it. Nothing really too crazy. Now, Series 2013 had a lot of star notes. You can look that up online on our website, the CoinOp website, varietyandnerrors.com. Or you can go to a lot of good websites called like My Currency Collection, Paper Currency, I think it's called mypapercurrency.com. All those you can look at the run numbers and how many star notes are in there. Anything that's cataloged, essentially. Now, let's look a little closer. This looks like something on the bill. See, so almost something cool. I thought that was just a foreign object on the bill, but nothing to call home about. A little bit of, if you look at his coat, that's a little bit of a misprint. So if we look here and compare the two, you can see that this basically missed some ink when it put down all this stuff right here. So, you know, somewhat collectible, but that could be something kind of a post-mint damage type of deal. So we'll kind of move along there. These look like they're in sequence, so that's cool. But unless you find something really cool like in sequence and there's nothing really to call home about, or if you have just a massive run, I mean, you can get those in a bank strap by ordering them through the bank. So not really collectible in my opinion. Same deal here. They're not really, nothing really jumping out at me. The serial numbers match. Nothing's off printed. So nothing really to call home about. Same thing. This is another, I mean, well, we got like a little bit of a misprint. Well, no. So nothing really crazy on here. If you notice though, it looks like that whole run had a kind of a misprint on the lapel of Washington. So we'll kind of set those aside. And then, what the hell? This is definitely something that sat in a puddle. It looks almost fake. You can see the difference in color, which is crazy because they're both 2013, you know. But obviously this was in circulation at some point, but I mean, it feels like Monopoly money. Not collectible at all, but still kind of interesting to think what this bill has been through. Where did it get spent? Where did it get dropped in a puddle? I love that about the history of bills. That's why I collect them. It's just interesting to see, or think rather, and imagine what this bill went through. You can go to like where'sgeorge.com and it'll, you know, if somebody did catalog the serial number, you can see where it got spent. I encourage people to do that. It's just really fun to look through that stuff and have your kids look through it and all that and just see where bills have been. So, nothing really crazy. We found some things in sequence with a little bit of misprints on the lapel of Washington. We found a couple star notes. And so slightly collectible and a little bit better of finds than I've been having if you've been watching my videos. But hopefully we'll come across something just really, really fun. Send me pictures of your finds. I will highlight them in a video of people that have been sending me some really fun stuff they've come across. It's just a lot cooler than basic star note finds. And stay tuned for the next video on a misaligned bill that a friend of mine contributed for me to make a video on. Have a wonderful weekend. You guys rock. Thank you for subscribing and watching my videos. And just being the awesome person you are. Have a great day. See you later.